All right, let's dive in. Today, we're putting on our detective hats to investigate the incredibly violent past of our very own solar system. It's a field called Planetary Archaeology, and believe me, it's like opening a cosmic cold case.
And this quote, "This is our guiding star right here." It might look calm and peaceful out there now, but the clues left behind? I'm talking about the strange orbits of planets, the makeup of asteroids, even the scars on our own moon. They all tell a story of absolute ancient chaos. Our job is to piece together that forensic evidence.
You know, for the longest time, the story we told ourselves was the one you probably got in school. A nice, tidy, clockwork solar system where everything formed where it is now and just stayed put. Yeah. Well, the actual evidence paints a much, much wilder picture. We're talking about a history of planets wandering all over the place, full-on cosmic brawls, and a system forged in pure violence.
So, how did this whole investigation even get started? What was that first loose thread that detectives pulled on that made the whole old story just unravel? Well, funnily enough, it didn't come from looking around our own neighborhood. It came from looking at star systems far, far away.
Astronomers started finding these absolutely bizarre things called hot Jupiters. These are huge gas giants way bigger than our Jupiter, but they're orbiting their stars so close that a whole year for them is just few Earth days. Now, according to the old neat and tidy model, there is no way a gas giant could ever form that close to a star. It's just too hot. The only possible conclusion was a revolution in our thinking. Planets have to be able to move. They migrate. And if they can do it out there, well, that meant they could do it here too. So with that one crucial insight, astronomers turned their eyes back to our own system, and they found their prime suspect pretty quick. The main culprit for all the early chaos? The king of the planets itself, Jupiter. Okay, so check out this incredible story. It's called the Grand Tack Hypothesis. First, a young Jupiter gets dragged inward by all the gas and dust in the early solar system. It goes on this rampage, spiraling in as close as where Mars is today. It was on a path to just destroy everything. But then, Saturn comes to the rescue. It also starts moving inward, catches up to Jupiter, and their orbits lock into this powerful rhythmic gravitational dance. And that combined force was so strong, it actually reversed their course. They tacked, just like a sailboat changing direction, and started migrating back out together. But that inward journey, man, it was a path of total destruction. Jupiter basically acted like a cosmic wrecking ball, just clearing out a huge chunk of the solar system. And this is why we have an asteroid belt. It's not the remains of some planet that got blown up. It's the rubble of a planet that Jupiter stopped from ever even being born. You'd think after all that drama, things would finally settle down, right? Nope, not even close. The next chapter in this investigation uncovers something even crazier, a full-on gang brawl between all the giant planets.
So, the theory goes that the four giant planets, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune, started out packed way closer together than they are today. But then, about 500 million years later, their orbits just happened to fall into this perfect rhythm that triggered, well, total chaos, a dynamic instability. Their orbits went completely haywire. Jupiter and Saturn shoved Uranus and Neptune violently outward, sending them plowing through a huge belt of comets and ice. And that sent a hailstorm of asteroids and comets raining down on the inner planets. We call it the Late Heavy Bombardment, and you can literally see the scars from it when you look up at the moon tonight. It's hard to even picture the sheer chaos. The solar system wasn't a system at all. It was a cosmic pinball machine. The giant planets were the flippers, just smacking each other and countless smaller objects into totally new orbits, completely redesigning the layout of our home.
It's an incredible story of survival for the planets we know and love, right? They all eventually settled down into the stable orbits we see today. But in a pinball game that violent, you have to ask, did every single ball stay on the table?
And the tragic answer is, almost certainly not. This cosmic crime scene has victims, planets that were lost for good, completely ejected from our solar system and thrown out into the eternal night between the stars.
We call them rogue planets, and they are, quite literally, the orphans of the galaxy. During all that violent shuffling, entire worlds, some maybe the size of Earth, were flung with so much force they just escaped the sun's gravity forever. Now they just drift, alone, in the cold, dark void.
Now here's the part that will absolutely blow your mind. Look at these numbers.
Scientists now estimate there are probably more of these homeless worlds wandering the Milky Way than there are stars. Maybe even twice as many. We're talking hundreds of billions of lost worlds, each one a silent witness to the violent birth of a solar system.
Okay, so I know this sounds like a wild, fantastic story, but how do we actually know any of this? What incredible tools are our cosmic detectives using to solve a crime that happened more than 4 billion years ago?
The key is data, a truly mind-boggling amount of data. Our secret weapon is the European Space Agency's GAIA Satellite. It's building a 3D map of our galaxy by tracking the exact position and motion of 1.8 billion stars and other objects.
And its accuracy is, well, it's just insane. To give you an idea, GAIA's precision is like being able to measure the width of a single human hair from 1,000 kilometers away. It's an absolute game changer for astronomy.
So how does that solve the crime? Well, if you know exactly where everything is and which way it's going with that much precision, you can use supercomputers to hit rewind. You can literally trace the paths of stars backward through time. And you can also analyze a star's chemical makeup, its unique fingerprint, to find its long-lost siblings that were born in the same cluster. It is true galactic archaeology. And that brings us right back here. This is the ultimate takeaway. Our existence isn't some neat, orderly process. Chaos is the norm out there. The fact that Earth is even here, that we are here, means we are the survivors of a 4.5 billion year long game of cosmic pinball. We are the improbable winners. So we've cracked the case on our own solar system's wild past, and it's way more dramatic than we ever thought. But it just leaves you wondering, doesn't it? With tools like GAIA scanning the skies, what other cosmic cold cases are out there, just waiting for a detective to find that first crucial clue?